Hello everyone, this is Amrit. Welcome back to the channel. This video is the continuation of our full stack movie booking application series. And in this video, we are going to build our first module, that is movie module. So without any further delay, let's jump into the code. So go to the modules and inside the movie folder, let's create some files. Okay. First is movie.controller.ts. Another one is movie.interface.ps. Another one is movie.model.ts. Another one is movie.route.ts. And one last, that is movie.service.ts. Okay, so these are the files we will need in our movie modules. Okay, so first of all, I have to define the interface. Okay, interface here means I'm going to define the data type of the object, movie object. Okay, so let's create it. So here write export interface movie. So this is a naming convention, that is iMovie. Let's indicate that it is a interface. And number one property is ID. This is optional property. We are not going to set it. It is automatically populated by the MongoDB database. Okay. Another is title. This is also string. And description, which is also a string. Duration, that is a string. And genre, that is an array of string. And release date, that is date. Languages is also an array of string. Okay. And certification as a string. Movie poster URL, that is also a string. And rating, that is number. And votes is also number. Format, in which format the movie is releasing, that is 2D, 3D, IMAX 3D and all. Okay, so this is also an array of string. Okay, so these are the attributes of movie object. Okay, let's save it. Now go to the models, movie model, and here we have to create a MongoDB schema. So first of all, import mongoose. Okay, and here write const movie schema equal to new mongoose dot schema, and here we have to pass the data type. Okay, okay, so inside this we have to pass the interface that we defined, iMovie. Okay, so this schema will follow the iMovie interface. Okay, data types. Okay, now here let me define all the schema, so just follow me. So here we have to just define all the attributes, that is title, description, duration, genre, release date, language, certification, poster URL, rating, votes, and formats. Okay, by default format is set to be 2D and everything is required, that is no any field is optional here. Okay, so let's export this schema. Okay, one more thing we have to do here is just write the timestamp is true. Okay, so that we can also get timestamp when we get the movie details. Okay, now let's export this schema. Movie model equal to mongoose dot model, and the data type is iMovie, and here movie, and pass the schema. Okay, so our interface and models are done. Now let's create our services. Okay. So these are the services I'm going to create. That is create movie, get all movies, get movies by ID, get movie by ID, and get top movie by votes. Okay. So let's create movie. So here write export const create movie async and their movie. This will follow our iMovie data type. Okay. Now return this. Okay. Just write here return away. No. Now here we have to import our movie model, that is movie model dot create, and just pass this movie. Okay. So this is our first service. Let's create second service, that is export const get all movies. This is also async function. And okay, here just return await movie model dot find and sort this according to release date. Okay. So this service will return all the movies and it will be in sorted order according to their release date. Okay. Now let's define get movie by ID. This is also a async function. This will receive one parameter, that is ID, which is a string. So basically you have to define every time these data types. Okay. So this is the beauty of TypeScript. Okay. So in JavaScript you wrote like this, but in TypeScript this will throw an error, that is implicitly any type. So you have to define it that ID is string. Okay. So this is also done. Now let's define our fourth service, that is get top movie by votes, and here just return await movie model that find. First of all, I will find all the movie, then we'll sort according to votes. So I want to return only top 10 movies. Okay. So we have to set the limit as well here. So just we have to pass a limit parameter here as well. This is a string. This will be a number. And after this sorting, just write limit and pass the limit here. Okay. Okay. So our all four services are done. Now let's create a controller to point these services. Okay. So go to the controller. And here, first of all, so let's first create a controller to create movie. Okay. Export const create movie. This is also a async request, and here we have to write like this request and define the data type, that is request response, that is response and next, that is next function. Okay. And here just write like this. Okay. Now inside this create try catch error, then just throw the error to next handler, and inside this try just create a movie component, movie variable, and we have to call the service here. Okay. So just write here movie. So first of all, I have to import the movie services here. So let's import it like this as movie service from movie.service. Okay. Now here just write movie service dot create movie, and here pass the request dot modi. Okay. Now let's write this dot status, that is 201, that is movie is created dot JSON, and here just return the movie. Okay. Okay. So we are getting an error here, that is argument of type readable string, and here Okay, so I think this error is due to the import issue. That is, we are not importing request response. Okay, just here add one. This also request response. Okay. Okay, so now error is gone. So this is our create movie controller. Okay, now let's create our get movie, get all movies, get movies controller. Okay, so just follow me. Just pass on the error to global error handler. So I will set up a global error handler after this controller is done. Okay, now have write const movies equal to await service dot get all movies. Okay, now here just status is 200 and return JSON movies. Okay, now another controller is for get movies by ID. So this is also async. Okay, so here try catch, pass on the error, and here just write const movie equal to await movie service dot get movie by ID, and here pass request dot params dot ID. Okay, now status is 200 and JSON is movie. Okay, now the next controller is for get top movies, or we can say it recommended movies. Okay, const get top get movies. Okay, okay, now here just write const top movies driver await movie service dot get top movies by port, and here we have to pass the limit. So for now I just pass here 5. Okay, and this the top movies will be returned here. Okay, so our controller is done and everything looks good. Now let's go to the routes and set up all these routes. Okay, okay, so here first of all import Express from Express and movie controller from movie controller. Now and route, let's create a variable router from express.router. Okay, so first of all I have to define a route to create movie. Okay, so that is a post request, and the endpoint is this single slash. Okay, now another for to get movies, that is also the same URL, but that this time I'm using get request. Okay, and just write here movie controller dot create movies and get movies. Okay, now the next route is for recommended, so just remove this and recommended movie controller dot get top recommended movies, and one more is that is for get movie by ID. Okay, so here I have to pass the ID as a params. Okay, and here write movie controller dot get movie by ID. Okay, okay, now we have to export the router. Okay, so router is also done. So our movie module is completed, that is controller is done, interface is also done, models, routes, services. Okay, now let's go to the global route and here create a file index.ts. We have to import the Express here as well. Okay, and here just create one global router, that is from express.router, and number one router is slash movies. Okay, and here I'm using our movie router. Okay, now let's import this movie router from models.movie router. Okay, now let's export this. Okay, it is showing an error, expected one argument but got two. Okay, so I did wrong here. Just here we have to use router.use. Okay, so this is a global router. Here I'm going to add all modules router here. Okay, now let's go to app.ts, and before global error handler, I have to, here we are going to use all the routes. Okay, so just write app.use API/v1 and here router. Okay, so this is done. So our movie module is done. Now it's time to test our movie module. But before that, we have to set up the global error handler. Okay, so that if we encounter any error, then we will display that error. Okay, and that we will do in the next video, because this video will become very long. So in the next video, we will set up our global error handler and request validator by using Jod. And we will also create an script to seed movie data into database. Okay, so that's all for this video. Thank you.